We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How did you not get 50 after Monday Night Raw?
Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. We have a fantastic show for you guys today. We are going to be talking all things from British pubs to Mariah May becoming Blake Monroe. Has it glitched? Are we still on air?
Glitched. It still says go live.
But we were on.
I'm so confused.
Let me look. I'll search it.
Okay, none of the comments have mentioned everything. I'm
It
gonna
never
presume
let
not
us
live.
hit.
Let's go again. Oh, we're still here.
Here we are, still live. We're still
Why does
live.
it
Still
says
live.
go live, dude. No way.
Well, now I'm so thrown off. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We are live. We are in motion. We are going, and we're going to be talking about Mariah May becoming Blake Monroe, AEW, Shotzi Blackheart potentially going to AEW, and if Ludwig Kaiser should join Seth Rollins. I'm all over the place because, again, on our end, it says we're not live, and yet we are. How are you today, Clark?
It says we're not live on my end either, but I'm stoked to be live. I'll tell you that much. I'm having trouble with the Instagram too. I blamed you pre-show. Now I think I jinxed it. I feel guilty, the whole nine. But I am fired up to be here because it's a Wednesday. One of my favorite shows of the week, a news day. We have all kinds of great things to talk about. So let's get into it since we actually are live.
Absolutely. I mean, if anybody could do us a favor and just check if we're still live on like
Everyone's
Twitter
commenting,
as well and
still
stuff.
live.
I think I'm worried we might only be live on YouTube, but we are live on YouTube. We are still going.
What
But-
happens if we click live again?
That's an do I dare do it? Do I
don't
dare
know,
risk
dude.
it?
I'm just saying. I'm like, now that we're
Do
here,
I
like,
dare do it? I'm
we
gonna
give it
do
a
it,
shot?
guys.
do it.
3, 2, 1. We're gonna go live again. We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing?
We're not playing the intro again, no. We're back live again, guys, and apparently
It fixed it.
it did.
Oh, yeah,
We're
it did
actually
fix it.
live now.
We're
I
live.
think
It's the Instagram's the problem. We're down on Instagram. It says we're live on Instagram somehow.
Okay,
we're
good.
now live on everything. Anyway, guys, if you are just tuning in, welcome to the show. This has been the craziest open we have ever had. But also joining us today, we have Archie Carter. How are you, Archie?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a very chaotic start. I've got a bit of a bad hair day today, so you guys will have to excuse that. But I'm excited to be on the show with two of my favorite people, and I've got a bit of a rant to go on about Clark later, so we'll get into that.
At least it's not about Arsenal for once. We will have no football
Silly
references
goose
today.
rants.
We're going to try and get through one Wednesday show without mentioning football. Let's see if we can do it. Odds
just
aren't
did it.
looking good.
Honestly, did you hear about the Chiefs started minicamp?
Anyway,
Football, we're square.
let's talk about British pubs, shall we? But
Let's do it. Love a British pub.
basically, I did a list the other day of 10 wrestlers who I would want to go to a British pub with, and it caused all sorts of controversy, mainly as I left out Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I made the reason for that very clear, and that's the fact that he doesn't shut up about IPAs nowadays. And my least favorite types of drinkers are those who don't shut up about IPAs. So for that reason, Stone Cold isn't making the list. But on my dream night out to a British pub, maximum 4 wrestlers, who would I be taking with me? Well, let's kick things off with Sheamus. He has to be on there. This man is the king of pubs. He's also the king of Guinness as well. We are going to be splitting the G all night long. Up next, we have Obafemi, and this man is on the list, one, because he's funny. Secondly, he likes Fireball. A few pints in, maybe we're getting a little bit bored of just the pure amount of Guinness that Seamus is feeding to us, and we might want to mix it up a little bit. We might want to get a little bit mischievous. We might want to get on those shots, right? Me and Obafemi going up to the bar, bang, 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 necking down those shots of Fireball. Absolutely fantastic. In at number 3, and like I said in my list, he's going to be boring as hell for the first 3 pints, but after that point, he is going to go back to 2006, and that is John Cena. This man in his prime was a drinking machine, and I think he'd be awful lots of fun on a night out. I need to see that happen. And last but certainly not least, the pick, which I got the most controversy for, but screw it. She's joining us on this night out, is Tegan Knox, right? I can't be the only Wales person on this night out. I need to bring Tegan Knox along with me. She loves a pint, she loves a scotch, and I reckon she'd be lots of fun. Plus, if you've been listening to her interviews lately, it seems like she doesn't have much going on, so she'd probably be available. Up next, we got a comment from Shard saying Mr. Iguana, Nunzio, Nikki, ASH.
Nikki Ash.
Why not just Nikki Cross and Mackie?
Yeah, she's
Ito?
Cross now. That's the old name.
Shard, you guys would get beat up.
I mean, they are not. Mr. Iguana, I mean, isn't even making it through the door.
Does the glass slip out of his hand if he grabs it with the iguana?
The iguana's not making it alive. It's getting killed. It's getting pulled apart within 5 seconds of being in there. Numero ones is the people.
Nikki ASH might get in there if it's like a fancy dress night or whatever.
Yeah, if she turns up as Nikki Cross, she'll be sorted. She'll be, just amongst her people. If she turns up in a superhero outfit, I mean, I don't even think I don't think she's getting in. Numero one says Otis. I mean, I reckon he'd make it in. Our truth, he'd make it in. Yeah. Mr. Iguana, again, not making it past the door. And Rhea Ripley will be fine as well. Yeah, El Grande Americano, as El Grande Americano, or as Chad Gable, isn't making it through that door. He likes America too much. He's not getting into a British pub. It just won't happen. But Tegan Knox still not getting any love in the comments. But Clark, I want your list. Who are you taking to a British pub?
How many do I get? 4 or 5?
4.
I mean, including yourself, it can be 5.
Okay, so that's 4.
Yeah, 4. Fine, up to 4. It could be 1 if you want.
I've got 4. Out of the gates, I'm going to go with the Sandman. That's an obvious one. Draw a little blood before we walk through the door. Freak out the bouncer. I think we won't be bothered.
I mean, there's not really bouncers, really.
We'll be served quickly.
No.
You guys have security at pubs. Come on.
No, not really.
There's got to be some
people that check IDs, but not really like
somebody's job.
Not even really.
Then why are we even
maybe in the big
later,
but a traditional British pub, you don't.
Then I have the Road Warriors. Got both Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, 2 great drinkers from Chicago. Perfect to go to a British pub with.
Face paint or not?
Oh, I mean, either way, doesn't matter to me.
No, they're not making it in if they're wearing face paint.
The Road Warriors. Be careful what you wish for, buddy. On that one,
have you seen the demographic of a British pub? Okay.
My final one, because I want to make sure I drink all these kegs dry over in these British pubs. Andre the Giant, last but certainly not least on my list to get to the British pub. And I'll let you know, with Andre riding with us, I'm pretty sure they'll let the Road Warriors in face paint wise.
Maybe. To be fair, no, when you said, here's a little peek behind the curtain, pre-show Clark said he was bringing all Americans, right? I mean, firstly, Andre the Giant is actually French.
We know that.
But that is actually a really good list. All those guys are getting in anyway.
Yeah.
Right, unless the Road Warriors are wearing face paint.
Yeah, in which case they might not. But no, we're not going to an American bar, Shard. That's another episode. We're going to a British pub today.
That's for next time.
Yeah. There's a bouncer at the pub that.
Thank you, Roundhead.
Fancy
Thank you. I've been to the UK, Ben. There are bouncers. There's somebody for security.
There's So when it gets later on in the night, like I mean,
I
if you
think
go
you're
to like
going to small watering holes, Ben.
if you go to like a Spoons or something, then it's like
Yeah, spoons.
they won't.
But
Yeah,
is that
I
even
mean,
really a pub? I don't even count. I love a spoons. It is.
if
I don't
you're
think it's
talking
a
about
pub.
like classic British pubs, then yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Yeah, right, okay.
There's
yeah.
not. Like
Yeah.
all the pubs I go, none of them get bouncers.
So
Like,
do they not check your ID
Sorry,
at the door?
Ben.
No.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
Do they check it at the bar?
Looks over
Yeah,
18.
they will.
Sorry,
They will
Ben.
check it at the bar.
At the
yeah.
bar. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of places here they'll check it at the door just to like because they don't want to let you in and have somebody get accidentally underserved or served underage.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to like a city center into a Weatherspoons or obviously to a nightclub, then yeah, they got people on the door. But
Yeah.
traditional British pubs, in every like town, I don't think they're too common.
I mean, Andre was a good pick
Yeah, I don't
by
know.
me though, especially because he could tap a new keg himself. You just go
That's
go
true.
downstairs and pick it up. Just bring it
Andre the
upstairs.
Giant. I mean, Andre the Giant's becoming a fan favorite too, although he is French. There might be a little bit of beef.
That's
It
true.
depends if the rugby's on. Fernando says Andre the Giant is an awesome shout. We got
well done, Clark.
I make
Well done,
beat saying
Clark.
now we go into an old school British pub governor. And I make beat says Osprey, Bronson, Reed, Waller, and any other Australian and UK pub goers. Thing is, depends again when you're going.
Osprey, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know if
Osprey's
Will's
getting into a Osprey's
Yeah,
fine,
but no, I'm
right?
not about that. I'm just like in Osprey. Like, I love you, Will, but I'm not sure if I'd love to go out on a night out.
It's not really his scene.
No, he loves a pub. I actually know he likes to go to the pub.
Oh, sorry,
Respect,
best friend.
okay,
Best
actually,
friend
you know
of
what?
Osprey, Ben.
You know what?
I've never
All
gone to the
respect.
pub with him, but I'd be down
No.
to do that. Osprey, next time you're in the UK, which it seems to be every other day at this point, just backwards and forwards constantly. Let's go to the
invite
pub.
Ben. Don't invite me.
But no, I'm more concerned about the Australians on the list.
Bronson Reed
I
would
mean-
be fine. Waller, like if he starts. doing a
Australians are
shoe-
some of the
might
best
be
drinkers in
too
the world,
Australian.
Ben. Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
don't you dare underestimate
I'm not.
Australians.
No, I'm on about the fact of I think there's going to be a bit of beef. If rugby's on or cricket's on,
Yeah.
they're not allowed in.
Not if they serve fish and chips. There's not.
I
gonna
don't
be
think
any
you
beef.
realize the beef between England and Australia.
It is big. It is big.
It's like it's worse
No, I
than
know.
like it's like our biggest sporting rival.
No bangers and mash is no beef though. That's pork.
Anyway, Archie, what's your crew for the night out in a British pub?
I've gone for probably the safest options. I've just gone all Europeans because
Okay.
I mean I love
wanna
American.
shake
So
that
Ben
out.
won't make fun of you.
Can I just no, it's because I don't want to get beat up. But can I say one person I definitely won't bring to a pub
Who?
is Jey Uso. I
Oh,
do not want to
no.
be going into a pub with that man.
Why?
As soon as he starts saying yeet,
Getting beaten up
I'm
within 2
walking
minutes.
out of there. I'm walking out of
Have you
there.
ever fought a
He's
Samoan?
He's left to fend off for himself.
I think you're
Have you
confused.
ever fought a group of 40-year-old overweight men in a British pub, Clark? I don't care if this man's Andre the Giant. He's not winning.
Samoa?
This is,
It's
so
tougher.
with that in mind, like Ben said, I'm going for safe options. Sheamus, obviously. Drew. Rusev's another
drink.
pick Rusev's another pick that I don't really think a lot of people have gone for.
He doesn't even
um,
drink.
Yes, he does.
Drew McIntyre doesn't drink.
I thought you said Rusev. No, but Drew's just there. Drew will be a good time for us. I'm not saying.
Fair
I'm
enough.
not,
Fair enough.
so
Fair.
Rusev
He's the designated driver.
and
He's fun anyway.
the last one. I don't know. I think maybe Becky Lynch. I think.
Okay.
Becky. I
I
think.
thought you were gonna go Jimmy
yeah.
or something.
I mean, maybe that's a bit too much Guinness. Maybe that's a bit too much Guinness though, because Rusev, Sheamus, I'm guessing Becky will probably be on the Guinness. So that's the thing.
And
but-
there is a Guinness shortage the last year as
Yeah,
well.
you're
isn't
gonna have
there?
to
Has
tap
that
a
been
new
sorted
keg.
out yet?
That's
Because if not, then that might
I'm
be
a
an issue.
Schmiddix guy,
That's-
Irish
that
beer
is-
wise.
That is a mate. So anybody that doesn't know, I'm outside of Wrestling Republic. I work in a bar, and Ben mentioning that is hilarious because we always have to say that whenever somebody orders a Guinness, we're like, we don't have it in the tap. We've only got it from cans because there's a Guinness shortage. So I mean, they would
That's
hate.
brutal.
They would hate it and it's always like doesn't fill up to the very top of the Guinness glass as well. So
Never does.
They look at it and they're like, I was like, we told you, but yeah, I mean,
They sent a picture of it to Bad Pints.
Write that down, everybody. Archer, Archie, server of libations. That's what he does. It's his other job.
That's my other job. But yeah, no, I think those
Oh my
gosh! I think Becky's a sleeper. No, Rusev is the sleeper pick there. I don't think a lot of people realize how. I mean, not in a club or anything, but in a pub, Rusev would be.
Even though in a club, I'd go with.
I didn't know it was a club. You wrote pub.
If he brings Lana,
well, if it's a club, then we are bringing Jey Uso.
But it's not. It's a pub.
It's a pub. It's a pub.
And it's not a pub which turns into a club.
You know what? We're doing club next week. We'll see what your list looks like, Ben.
A pub that turns into a club.
Don't you have any of those?
Schedule it next week.
We have so many. We have like I'm not going to name drop them. We have an Irish bar here, which like as soon as it goes to like 8, turns into a club.
Well, yeah, that happens to like half of our bars.
That's so weird.
It's so disappointing.
It's like,
yeah, I mean,
you're like, shoot, this place was sick before. Now you can't talk to anybody, and everyone's sweaty.
Yeah, and it's awful. Apart from that, they play banging tunes. But it's like empty 9/10 of the year, apart from like New Year's Eve and on New Year's
somebody clip that.
Please tell me it's not Mr. Brightside when you say that.
Oh, it is. Every time I'm there, Mr. Brightside.
I'm leaving.
Banger, banger. Oh my
gosh!
gosh!
I hate
Killers, man. I was like in high school when that song came out.
Anyway, Blair Harold is asking, what are we talking about? Do you know what we're going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about Blair Monroe up next, Blair. Because...
Blake.
Can't even get her new name right.
I was thinking Blair
that bad.
Poor Mariah May. We're tagging her in all these posts saying how much we hate her name, and now Ben just got it wrong.
Blake Monroe.
Anyway, Archie, it is now June. What does that mean?
It means May's gone.
It means May is over. Mariah May has gone, but Blake Monroe, that's the one, has arrived.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. It's a bad name.
It's really hard to say.
Listen, I'm not being funny, right? I saw the take which both you and Shard gave last night on Off the Air, Clark. And I agree with you. I really do, Clark. I think the name absolutely sucks. I think she's going to make it work, but Blake as a first name in wrestling, it's a lovely name for a little nephew, lovely. For an actual wrestling name to go before the word Monroe, I don't think it works. I truthfully don't.
I think they looked at it like this, Ben. They were like, listen, now that Blake Lively's canceled, we need a new famous Blake.
Oh my God.
Let's go with Mariah May. I think that was the whole logic.
I mean, that's more logic than what they actually went with, I think. But, I mean, it just doesn't go well together. Plus, her gimmick is obviously a parody or taking heavily taking inspiration from Marilyn Monroe, right? You don't need to say that. It's just too on the nose. It feels cheap. It feels like a parody because that's in the name. I don't like it. But, Archie, I can tell you've been waiting to talk.
You want to get way too excited about it, Archie.
I am.
You want to get some stuff off your chest.
I do want to
Fernando didn't know Blake Lively's been cancelled.
Yeah, has she? I didn't even know that.
yeah, she got in trouble. She was like messing around. There's a production thing on the last movie. It's gnarly.
I actually think she got uncancelled now. It's
I think it's my tape.
It's a currently evolving situation. We'll be back after Archie's
I'm raring to go here. Back after Archie's take. Right, so here's the thing, right? So Mariah May, that's a fantastic name, but Mariah May, as you said, Ben, it's gone. And I do not blame Mariah May for coming into WWE and thinking, you know what, I want a fresh start. She could have easily, if she wanted to use her name in WWE, she could have easily done that. It's not as though WWE's forced her into a name change, at least I don't think. So she wants a fresh start, and I understand that. The first name Blake is from her niece, not her nephew Ben. It's from her niece, who's been in like her vlogs and stuff. I don't watch her vlogs. But sorry, Mariah or Blake, I will start watching more. And Monroe's, I don't think it's because of the gimmicks she has. I think it's more. I don't even think it's really. There's not really much Marilyn Monroe in there. I think it's more a nod to her Hollywood ending, sort of, or the way her career ended in AEW. I think this is actually a brilliant name. I said this in the group chat after I saw it was announced. Blake Monroe is a name I can see on posters. It's a name that I can see ring announcers absolutely nailing in title introductions. This is a name that's going to make sure that Mariah May goes far in WWE. I'm not saying Mariah May wouldn't have gone far with her Mariah May's name, but Blake Monroe, she will go far in WWE with this name, and I think it will actually help her rather than hinder her a bit, like you guys are saying. I feel like it rolls off the tongue. Blake Monroe, it goes together nicely, and I feel like the main reason people have criticized this, and I'm not saying this is why you guys are criticizing it, but I think in a few months' time, when Blake Monroe is one of the biggest stars in WWE, we're not even going to be thinking about that name change, right? People were annoyed when it was Eli Drake to LA Knight, right? People were annoyed when it was Walter to Gunther. I saw. I don't know if it was Ben. I think it was you, Ben, that said this doesn't even sound like a wrestling name. I mean, Gunther doesn't sound like a wrestling name. Gunther doesn't sound like a guy that could beat me up. No offense to any Gunthers watching.
It does.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
It does.
Gunther sounds like a guy that's.
I disagree with everything else Archie said, but I'd never let a Gunther beat me up.
Exactly, and Alistair Black is another one. But I'm just saying, Blake Monroe, it works perfectly with her character. I think you guys are completely wrong. And I think the video package, by the way, was awesome. I love the links to Sabrina Carpenter in there. It's more Sabrina Carpenter than Marilyn Monroe, which I absolutely love because I'm a big fan of Sabrina Carpenter. So I think this is a perfectly fine name change. I think this will actually help her get bigger in WWE. I feel like it's on the same level as Mariah May, honestly. I feel like just because we're so used to Mariah May, that's why we've got criticism for it. In a few months' time, I'm going to be on the Daily in a few months' time, and you guys can clip this. In a few months' time, you guys aren't even going to be mentioning Blake Monroe, and I reckon people are going to be calling her by Blake Monroe more than Mariah May, because I heard I think it was Clark say, I'm just going to keep calling her Mariah May. Trust me, Blake Monroe, it'll stick. And you guys haven't seen the vision yet.
First of all,
I've got a few things to say. Because I'm actually
forced my hand. I have to call her Mariah.
You're talking with me.
I'm absolutely fuming.
You're wrong. You're about to get ganged up on.
At you, firstly, the audacity of anybody at Wrestling Republic, other than maybe Shard. Me and Shard are very much in the Sabrina Carpenter Twitter community. We're in that space. We tweet regularly about her upcoming content. By the way, she has a new album coming out August 29th, announced today. It's a national holiday for us Sabrina Carpenter fans. But I am the biggest Sabrina Carpenter fan at Wrestling Republic. Let's get that out of the way. Secondly, and more importantly, right? Do you know who inspired this Sabrina Carpenter gimmick? Marilyn Monroe.
Wouldn't it be Sabrina Carpenter? Oh yeah, I guess.
No, but
Marilyn Monroe inspired Sabrina Carpenter. So that's where this Monroe's come from.
No, it's not.
To say there's no link to Monroe is nuts.
I'm not saying there's no link to Monroe. I'm saying it's literally more Sabrina Carpenter than it is Marilyn Monroe.
I have a cousin whose first name is Monroe, but it's spelled E-A-U-X, the French way.
Marilyn Monroe, that's not because
of
her gimmick. It's Monroe because of her previous achievements in her career. That's why. It's because of the Hollywood ending. Yes,
it's not.
I think
it's because Marilyn Monroe inspired the character. It's got nothing to do with All Elite Wrestling.
Between segments, go take a lap, dude. You need a breather. Just go take a lap. Walk it off, Archie. Walk it off. Just take a lap. Take a lap. Run the stairs for a second.
Yes, there is a Marilyn Monroe.
Deep breaths, but you're just wrong. You're just wrong. It's like it's terrible. The name is awful.
Right? Why is that? And why is that?
Because it sounds goofy, and Mariah May was good, and I don't like it.
But Blake Monroe. First, I think it's a great name.
Blake Monroe
I
should
think
be
it's-
a
I think it's
relief
just-
pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, and I get him on a show with all UK people. But Blake
It
Monroe
does sound
now
right. You're
pitching
right.
for the
That's
Cincinnati
right,
Reds.
Mark.
Blake
You're right.
Monroe. Right, that guy comes in the 7th inning to get an out. He's a lefty specialist against left-handed batters. That's
Monroe,
what it is.
Blake Monroe sounds like a very
You can't even
glamorous
say it right.
person, and that is what
Yeah, you
Mariah
can't
May
even
trying
say
to
it.
come across.
It's Blake Monroe.
I said
Anyway.
Blake
He's a
Monroe.
left-handed pitcher for the Reds. Comes out of the bullpen.
Anyway, we
Got an
do have
ERA
a
of
more.
2.75.
We do have a more, important matter to talk about,
You
right?
don't.
Because it is official, in the words of Adam Pierce. According to the court of law, Blake Lively is not cancelled.
Oh, okay. Never mind. She's uncanceled. So there's 2 famous Blakes now. What's she going to do about that, Archie? How do you like me now? It's even worse.
How is that? How is that
Actually,
even worse?
maybe I've read this wrong. Maybe she is cancelled. It's one way or the other. It's
Well,
one.
I think she is
becomes the other.
definitively canceled, to be honest.
Thing is, right?
Oh, no.
Who cares about Blake Lively? Sorry, Ryan Reynolds. Who cares about Blake
Whoa,
Lively?
bro.
Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe.
Dude, you ever seen Gossip
Monroe's-
Girl?
Blake Monroe is the next.
Jeez, Archie, have a little respect.
Gossip Girl's boring. Blake
Josh
Monroe.
is standing with Archie.
Come on,
Josh has
Josh.
come into this chat the last few days, and
Jarch.
he is just disagreeing
Josh.
with everything Clark's saying.
Oh my gosh, I just named you guys a tag team, Jarch. Either way, it's the at the same time.
Blake Monroe. She's going to be sticking. The next big thing in Hollywood. Trust me. Next big thing in
Pardon?
Hollywood.
What?
She's the next thing.
Now
She
you're
just
just
signed-
making reaches to
No,
just to reach.
she just signed
That's-
with
You
Paradigm
know what? The
Agency.
NBA finals are going on right now.
She
That's a
just signed
reach
with
in
Paradigm-
foul, Archie.
This Blake Monroe is going to be the. Just go.
Yes! Woo! Yes. Clip that one, Ben. Clip that. What would you call her before again, Archie? What was her name?
I Make Beat says they'll be calling her the Underblaker.
That was the moment of the year, Archie. By the way, that was the moment of the year on the show. I know it was organic too. Couldn't have happened.
If
to
I-
a better man.
Oh
speak-
my
if I speak-
gosh.
If I speak.
Oh, you shouldn't have said
trouble.
Mariah. That was your first mistake.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
She'll
talk.
be, let me finish that. Blake Monroe is going to be the next big crossover star in professional wrestling.
Right, but what about Mariah May?
Actually, don't disagree with that, Archie. And I'm actually going to be talking about that more tomorrow over on the Allison Analysis channel, because I have analyzed the career of Mariah Monroe, Blake Monroe, whatever you want to call her, and I have found my key findings and my key rating for her overall. I'm going to be talking about her strengths, her weaknesses, what I think she's going to be doing in WWE, what her ceiling will be, and a lot more. So make sure you go and subscribe to the brand new Allison Analysis YouTube channel. It's at Allison Analysis on YouTube. I did the Raw review over on there the other day as well. Brand new channel. Once again, Allison Analysis. And that's where all my Allison Analysis episodes will be from here on out. Raw, SmackDown, and now every Thursday, I will be analyzing a wrestler this week with Blake Monroe / Mariah May. But without further ado, let's get into the rest of this show, because AEW just lost Mariah May. But could they replace her with Shotzi Blackheart? Because Shotzi Blackheart has expressed her interest, Clark, in working for AEW, but clarified she wants to firstly prove herself on the independent scene. What's your take?
So first and foremost, unlike Blake Raya Monroe or whatever, Shotzi Blackheart kept a name that we all know and really like. I'm really excited for her. I don't know if you listened to her interview on Busted Open about a month ago, when right after she was released. It was outstanding what she said about how motivated she feels right now and how excited she is for the future to show things that she can do that she may not have been able to show in the WWE. She admitted fully that it was a shoot promo in her final promo, the one that I actually thought was excellent. I thought it was going to lead to a push. I love the idea of proving herself on the indies, kind of doing her own thing, painting her own picture, the artistry, all of that. She's good. She's really, really, really good. I think Shotzi's going to eventually sign with AEW and be a major factor in the AEW women's division. I just don't know exactly the route to get there. I would actually love to see her challenge maybe for some smaller titles, a la not smaller. That's the wrong way to put it. Just more independent sort of titles, the way that Mercedes Moné did, the way that Matt Cardona has. Maybe go out and start having some title matches on some independent shows, then do the signing with the AEW to have the big push. Because my only fear is what I don't want to happen is for her to get like stuck on ROH and you have a big rivalry with Athena that's really exciting, which it would be, but then that's where Shotzi is from there. I would love to see Shotzi debut on the AEW roster as a major player and a major factor. And I think a little bit of time on the indies to build even further is not the worst idea.
Yeah, I completely and utterly agree with you there, Clark, as well. I really, really do. I mean, we've got a comment here as well from Numero One Superfly, which I agree with, where he says he doesn't think AEW should sign Shotzi because it's really hard to see what they do with her, at least right now. Maybe she could build herself up. But Shotzi should return to TNA is what Numero One says, and that's what I would love. But she said she doesn't want to do it, or at least she doesn't want to do it for the time being.
This is where I see the thing with the AEW part of it. I get the Abaddon comparison there, and I know she does the Halloween stuff, but I think Shotzi wants to show off what she can do inside the ring.
Yeah.
Bell to bell.
Yeah, no,
I think that's important to note. That's what she said publicly since the release, especially.
I think Shotzi would be a good pickup for AEW. I don't know whether AEW's got such a strong women's division right now. I mean, we're looking at wrestlers like Queen Aminata, who's not getting much TV time. I think if she went to AEW, rightfully so, she would probably take Athena's place in Ring of Honor, and Athena would be going. But I love Shotzi Blackheart, but I think AEW needs to be careful with their women's division because they don't give the women too much time already. So they need to be a bit more sensible in terms of, we talk about how WWE needs to be more sensible of who they sign in terms of women's division. AEW needs to be a lot more sensible, I think. I think someone like Dakota Kai would be a no-brainer. I don't think someone like Shotzi would be as of a no-brainer. And if I'm Shotzi, I wouldn't be ruling out TNA really as much, because I think TNA would probably be the perfect landing spot for her. I think she would be a star in TNA, obviously with the
major
WWE
top of the card.
I think with the WWE ties, that's probably what comes into it, and she's probably still a bit annoyed with them, which rightfully so. But I think if AEW did sign Shotzi Blackheart, she'd be a great addition to the Ring of Honor division. I don't know if she should go up much further than that when they have others.
Josh out here just like sending shots too. Look, you and Archie you guys are Jarch.
He's saying that Shotzi joining would go the same way as Ruby Soho. Momentum would slowly die.
Well,
I don't know.
You and Archie are like the Motor City Machine Gun. It's pretty good.
I don't know what that profile picture is of the phones, but well done.
Yeah, why is Josh just an Apple salesman on YouTube?
He likes phones. It's a phones guy.
Apple salesman by day, podcaster by night.
Hey, look, we got Aunt You. Hey, don't miss the meeting after the show, Aunt You. Remember that's good.
Shotzi is best on the indies. She works the crowd so well. That is true. She is so good at it.
Yeah.
A bit of a scoop here.
Oh,
an Apple YouTuber.
Aunt You. I scratched what I previously said. We're gonna have to push that back about 10 minutes so I can go watch those videos.
No, I did like what Aunt You said actually, that Shotzi does better with the intimacy of the indies. I think that point is a really good point actually. That's why she worked better in TNA as well. What are you looking at, Ben?
I'm trying to find Josh's channel.
Oh, dude, it exists. It for sure does. Tech of Apple.
Oh, poor Josh.
Found it.
I'm
He's gonna-
sorry,
he's
Josh.
gotta
Oh
talk to
my
his rep.
gosh.
He's got to talk to
Oh
his
my.
rep.
Okay, second. Wait a second, guys. Right now, we're going to very quickly interfere with our current programming, and instead,
Yes.
for a second,
Oh
check
my
The
God.
out.
legendary Markowitz.
Oh my God! Look at
This
that
is
filming the intro on his iPad as well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God!
Oh, Josh, at least you didn't have an awkward face.
I'm gonna do an expectation video about the Apple March keynote. You guys are not familiar with the Apple keynotes or any other.
To be fair, for a 12-year-old, this is really good.
No, I'm Higby. It's
You
Josh.
watched like
This is
5
top
seconds of it
Josh's-
then.
Josh
It
is
was
a
like
part of the
5
program.
seconds.
He's a part of the
You're
program.
just making up for embarrassing.
No,
him.
I'm
That's what
Higby.
you're
He's a part of the
doing.
program.
No, I was impressed. I was like, this is
Fair game,
actually
it's fair
too
game.
good. But
Josh, you nailed it.
business deals going on mid-screen.
No, you guys are mean. Josh was, yes, you were good looking, Josh.
I'm actually impressed, to be honest. There's actually at 12
No,
years
the-
old getting out
film-
that content.
The film and the intro on his iPad. That's really that's really top notch stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this.
Innovative.
Look, he's got 15 new subscribers. Yeah, Josh. See, that's what's up.
Oh my God!
Oh, Apple actually hired Josh after seeing the stream today. But moving on, let's talk about a take which has been all over Twitter today. And it was by
Oh, that's
Chandran
new.
the Man, who says, what if Gunther defends the world title at SummerSlam in a grueling match? He wins, but he is completely drained. That's when Seth Rollins shows up to cash in Money in the Bank. Ludwig Kaiser runs out to support Gunther, only to turn on him. Seth wins the title, and Ludwig Kaiser becomes the final member of Seth's group. This has been big on Twitter today, and a lot of people are saying they really, really like the idea. Archie, I'm going to go to you first out of the gates on this one.
Yeah.
What is your feeling? Could you see this happening?
To be honest, before this was even mentioned, I didn't even think about an idea like that, but I absolutely love that idea. I mean, obviously, Gunther, we've seen how great he is on his own. This partnership with Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser doesn't really need it. He's not getting on screen with Gunther at all. So a change like that into Seth Rollins' group, which what we'll just call the Vision, would be a absolutely fantastic idea. And here's another idea to point out. What if Ludwig Kaiser joins the group and then Gunther has to be part of the team to take him down, and Gunther and none other than one of his longest enemies in WWE, Ilya Dragunov, has to team up to take on Ludwig Kaiser and someone like Bronson Reed or something like that? I think that would be absolutely awesome. And another kind of it would be a storyline that we haven't actually seen Gunther or Gunther's character really involved in. He would kind of be the baby face in a way, which I don't know if they can pull that off, especially after what happened with Jay. But I mean, maybe they are leaning that way, considering he showed respect to Pat McAfee. But I think this would be a great idea. Ludwig Kaiser, particularly for his career, this could launch him straight into the upper mid card, which is where he should be right now. I don't know how old he is, because before I said this, the WWE should push these wrestlers because they are the next future of the business. And then Ben comes up and corrects me and tells me they're like 38 or something like that. But I don't. But Ludwig Kaiser, I don't know how old he is, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty young, right? So
well,
I
Have you been playing too much universe mode recently, Archie?
I said, right, a few weeks ago that, in my opinion, like, jokes aside, genuinely, this group should set up the future of the company. And I said, I really personally hope the fourth member, if there is one, is under 30 years old. But there's very limited options for that, if we're being realistic. It's Carmelo Hayes or Javon, really, or maybe Obafemi. But I really hope Theory happens. I'm not sure it will happen. I'd love Javon. Not sure it would happen. So I think realistically, it's going to be somebody in their very, very early 30s. But the critical thing for me is they have to be closer to 30 than 40, because otherwise this group cannot be like the future if 3 out of the 4 members are closer to 40 than 30. That's not about the future, is it?
But
And
it's-
unfortunately, by SummerSlam, Ludwig Kaiser would be closer to 40 than 30
How
because he
old?
turns 35 next month.
Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. That's
No, he deserves to be
literally-
passed. I
Dude,
just don't
I'm
think
gonna
in this
crash
faction.
your
Bron-
30th birthday
Bronson,
party.
how-
I'm gonna give you a
how-
rocking chair.
How
No,
old
I
is
think he's
Bronson
fine to
Reed?
pass, just not in
I
this
already
picture.
know my
not
30th
the
birthday
future of
gift
business,
for you,
is it?
Ben. The
How
day you
old-
turn 30, I'm giving you a rocking chair.
It's
Oh.
not the future of the business, is it, though? If you're
How old-
34.
how old-
No,
Bronson
dude, I don't
Reed?
know
How
what you're
old's
gonna do
Bronson
once you
Reed?
turn 30, but
Bronson
you're gonna need
Reed's
the
like
rocking chair.
36.
Right.
They've got their Batista.
Oh,
Batista's
come
Bronson
on.
Reed.
Dude, he's like 2 years
Come
away from
on,
being
this
put in a
is-
home.
This is getting a bit silly now. Like, this is. I mean, we talk about
And
these
35,
are
you're
guys that
kidding
can go
me.
on for the next 15 years or so. We're
Oh,
talking about 15
They
years.
can't. I
Yes,
can't remember
they
who
can.
it was. You said a
Tom Brady
wrestler.
played
That's Seth
quarterback in the
Rollins.
NFL at
You said Seth
45.
Rollins is going to retire
I'm
at
not
like
talking about
42,
Seth.
6 months
Seth-
ago.
What are you
Seth's
doing
the
with
tri-
people
Seth's-
in their 30s? I don't get it,
Seth-
Ben.
Seth's the
I
Triple
don't.
H.
I'm just saying they
Tom
should
Brady
be setting up people
played-
for the next 2 decades, like Evolution did, like The Shield did, like
we're
so
gonna
many
get-
factions
We're gonna
before that
get
have done.
more- But we're gonna,
I'm
yeah,
not
we're gonna-
saying it's old in WWE. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for this
You're-
specific faction, I think the 4th guy
Ben.
does need to be a younger star who can main event WrestleMania.
35's old to you.
Braun
Ben,
Breaker.
Where is the
right, Ben,
line?
You're acting like that WWE is just going to have no newcomers from the NIL system coming through, from the
Thank you,
WWE ID
Fernando.
program coming through. Like, you're going to have these young and up and coming wrestlers continuously coming through at WWE.
But they're not
and
going to
gonna
become
have-
draws. We're going to have like 5
Why?
years where there's like no draws in wrestling, and it's
No,
going to
we
the business is going to
Ben,
just.
I
No,
was
we won't,
going
because-
to agree with
because
like
we got-
all kinds of different stuff and go after Archie, but you ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it.
It honestly,
what's he gonna
it's a
call
real
Seth
issue.
Rollins
It's
the-
a real
the-
issue.
What's he going to call Seth the Ring Colonel? No, it's a terrible idea. No, I don't want Kaiser in this group. Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with age. The Ring Colonel, like, you know, whatever it is, the different 11 different herbs and spices, right? It's like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Stop it. When Kaiser in this group doesn't fit, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't like it. No, I think it's a dumb idea. I do think the 4th needs to be somebody better and different. Not that better than Kaiser, but that fits the group more. Kaiser doesn't fit the group. That's the
Yeah,
band of
I
misfit
agree.
boys if you throw Kaiser in the group.
No. Don't you think that the
The
story
Bronzes
of Gunther and
and
Ilya having to
Bronzes
force to team up with
makes
each
sense.
other is interesting? That's a really
I
interesting.
think that would
The
be
Ring
interesting. I agree with
Colonel.
that.
And
Like,
now,
I feel like, look, if Gunther's not going to be in any of the WrestleMania World Title matches, this is long thinking, but I don't think Gunther will be. He does need a match, and I'm thinking that teaming up with Ilya Dragunov to take on Ludwig Kaiser and Bronson Reed to kind of finish this.
stop playing universe
long-
mode on 2K.
I love
dude.
universe mode.
You need to chill
I-
out. It's just a sandbox. You can't even win.
Right, I want to quickly address some of these comments, right? Because John says Gunther's 37, Jey Uso's nearly 40, and Priest is like 42, and he only got pushed last year.
I turned
This is my
34
point.
in a month and
No,
a
no,
half.
no.
Then you're
I
hurting
do
my
just-
feelings.
I actually want to make this point for a second, right? Because people are taking my point really out of context. I am not saying WWE should never push stars around that age. That is not what I'm saying. I'm certainly not saying they shouldn't push Ludwig Kaiser. I'm just saying for that faction, I think you should be younger. But my point right now with these wrestlers is legitimately 8 out of 10 WWE main eventers, if not more right now, have said they're going to be retired in 5 years' time, right? I don't think people actually realize how big of an issue this is. And everybody's laughing now. They won't be laughing in 5 years' time, right? I'll tell you guys that much. They really won't.
You know
They
how
really
many-
won't, right? Because people talked about the ruthless aggression as like an era where WWE struggled to make new stars, and they did fast, right? It was about 40% of the main
Ben,
event scene there to replace them.
Ben,
This is going to be nearly the entirety of it. Business is going to crumble. It's going to be terrible for
You're
wrestling. They
forgetting
need
a
to make
key
younger stars
factor
now.
here.
Ready
You're
for 5 years.
forgetting a
Can I-
key factor, Ben.
What?
Athletes often lie about how soon they're going to retire to create leverage to make more money.
John Cena's promo is the perfect.
That
example.
is the oldest trick in the book.
Look,
They've been doing
his-
it since the
But his-
outset of sports. And contract
gonna be an issue.
negotiation.
We're gonna
I'm
have
5 years away from
barely any
retirement
wrestlers
unless
who are
you pay
between
me
28
enough.
and 34.
Ben,
I mean, think
here's-
about this. CM Punk retired in the middle of his prime, right? He took his ball and went home. Where's he now? Oh, what?
Ben, here's the how.
I
this
guess
gonna
there is
go.
enough money.
Here's how
And
the
his
cycle's
prime,
gonna
they've got
go.
like nobody that age in the company
He
anymore.
went 7 years away and came back.
Here's how the circle's going to
All
go.
these people are
We're gonna-
no,
we're gonna
it's
make-
not like that.
Say WWE makes 3 stars from this Rollins faction. Say it's Kaiser, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker, right? Say Kaiser and Bronson Reed is around for another 15 years. Guess what? They'll be big enough stars to be able to put over younger guys.
They're
That
not going to be
means
there when
that-
they're 50.
Why not? Okay, for another 10 years. But even then, they're going to be big enough stars that they'll be able to put over younger guys. Then guess what? Those younger guys are being made into stars, and so on and so on.
Yeah, but it's not just about
People-
that. They've got to become draws too. To become a proper main event draw in WWE,
They don't
right,
have to
where you're
become
actually
drawers.
bringing in
will be
fans,
draws.
it takes
will be-
5
It
to
could be
10 years.
cabinets.
The only
5 to 10 years.
it does.
That's no,
Okay.
because if you're going off Rhea Ripley or someone like that, it's because that Vince has poisoned
By the
our
way, it
minds
takes
and
1
took
minute to make
No,
a
it
star. Ask
hasn't.
Mr. Iguana.
Hasn't. There's not like one star really.
It takes
who-
1 minute to
one
make a star.
million-
Ask Mr. Iguana.
Well, no, because he's not a mainstream star, is he? He's
Or
an
he is now.
IWC
He's
star. He's an
viral.
IWC
Ask Joe
star.
Hendry.
He's
Joe
not
Hendry.
selling tickets. He's not selling tickets,
No.
right? Neither of those two.
Well,
Otherwise,
they don't have to
TNA
work
would
the
have
parking
sold
lot
out
and
every
sell
show when he was
tickets.
champion, which they weren't.
People are going.
No, but here's the thing. Rhea Ripley, it shouldn't have taken 5 to 10 years to make her into a star, but
It did
that's
take
what,
over 5.
Yeah, I know, but it shouldn't have
Alright.
taken that long. That shouldn't have taken that long.
It was because
the thing.
the reason is it's because of how familiar people are with you, right? Because it takes that long because casual fans, they're going to need to see someone a lot to actually, you know.
How long has it taken Stephanie Vaquer to become one of the most popular?
I
most-
just-
And yeah, she's no, and she's not a mainstream
We're
star. She's
speaking in
not
too
a
many
mainstream
absolutes.
star.
Not
She
yet.
isn't.
Not yet.
She is
Oh,
not a
sorry.
mainstream star.
Yeah, no, she's just going into UFC events and all of that. She's not a mainstream star. She's in
They're
the
trying
next,
to make her one.
in the next year. She will be. And how long was that?
No
taken?
way,
What, a
no
year?
way,
2
no
years?
way, no way in a year is she going to be a
100%.
WrestleMania top of the card level draw. She could be that level, but the draw's going to have to be with
100%.
her.
Well, it's going to be
I'm-
interesting with no stars. Do you think they'll just go to all mid-card titles, Ben?
Maybe. They like to make a lot of them, don't they?
They're just
But
gonna, no, they'll
anyway.
just get rid of the world titles. They'll be like, we'll just go with the mid-cards in the main event.
I
Just
mean,
water
these
it
are the
down.
guys, Breaker, Femi, Hayes, Javon, Trick. They're going to need to rely on those. The issue is right now they're not doing anything with Carmelo, are they really? Apart from working in with the Miz, who's now decided to just leave for a few months to
He doesn't
go
miss.
and host a game show. Anyway.
Probably getting paid.
Oh gosh. The best part is, by the way, about this entire show, as we wrap up, Josh has now changed his profile picture.
Go, Josh, go. Go, Josh, go. Go, Josh, go.
Oh, I mean, you should have just. You should
No, we got it. He, by the way, at the same time there. That's amazing. No, we got it in.
We got it.
Oh my
And on that note, thank you guys so much
Hold
for
on,
watching.
Josh.
It has been a blast. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Clark. Have a great day. Peace.